Welcome to Friesen Art Vector Tools in Google Drawings. To get to Google Drawings, you can search in the search engine if you want to. You can also go over to your drive. Most people have their drive kicking around, and you can go up to the top left and go new, and it shows us a bunch of applications, but you have to go more, and you can choose Google Drawings, and it takes you straight over and makes a canvas for you. So there we go, it's loaded up our Google Drawing. First of all, let's title this thing, even if it's a lame title like Drawing 1, something to distinguish it, not untitled. You don't want that. It's hard to find later. So we have the canvas here. This is outside of the canvas. We've got this whole part to work with. And then running through the tools, we've got undo and redo, and you can see it actually has the hotkeys there too. So you can see it's got Command Y and Command Z. Command Z, or on a Windows, that's going to be the Windows button. So you can use the buttons, or you can use the hotkeys, whatever you like. But it's really handy. That's one part about digital art that is great, is being able to undo when you've made a massive mistake or a small one. Going along, we don't need these ones. However, we're going to go to zoom. Zooming in helps a lot when you're looking at details, so feel free to use that whenever you want to get in tight and then move back out. Works great. And then we've got the select tool. You'll see what that does, but essentially you can change any object at any time. That's the nice thing about vector drawings, is that you can change each piece individually at any point. Then we have line, and not just one line, but you've got all these different types. Scribble, which is like freeform, polylines, which has straight lines, and this line as well. So they all come in handy in different stages depending on what kind of art you want to make. We've got shape, or shapes, more like it. There's lots of shapes in here, plus some other things, and we'll be using shapes mostly, shapes and lines. If you want to add text box is there. If you want to have an image, a reference image, if you're drawing something, say a fox, and you need a picture, you can throw that in. You can also drag and drop onto the canvas as well. So we've got all those things. Let's make a shape. So I'm going to click, grab a shape, and I'm going to make it a circle. You can see I get this little crosshair on there, and when I click and drag, I can make an oval. Going either way, I can make a circle. If I want to make it a perfect circle on my keyboard while I'm doing this, if I hold down Shift, then it will make it a perfect circle. And if I hold down Option on a Mac, or Alt on a PC, then it will actually go from the center. But so I'm going to drop it, and I let go of my mouse after dragging, and you can see right away it switches to having this box around it, and it's blue with a black outline. So it changes right to select right away. When you click on something, when you select it, it has a transformation box. So this is what I was talking about. You can change this whenever you want, even though you've already made it. You can change it. You can spin it around. You know, if you need an oval going this way, that's great. You can change it at any point. I'm going to go Command Z, just make it back into a circle. Perfect. When I have it selected also, I can change the color. You see how now we have a few new buttons up here. So here we've got fill color. That's the fill of the inside. So let's say instead of blue, I want this medium gray. Great, I can do that. If I want to do a solid color that's here, you can also do a gradient. So that means it goes from dark to light. Some people call it an ombre, where it switches from one color and just fades to another. So that's available as well. Then we have border color. Right now, if I click away, you can see there's a tiny little black line around it. That's the border. They call it a border. And so you can change that color anytime you want. And that brings us to the next button, which is border weight. So if you want to make it bigger, you can click and make it bigger. And look at that. Now we can really see the border. Another thing that's important to note too is that you don't have to have a border. You can go transparent, and then it's just the color shape. And that is also an option for the inside as well. If you want something see-through in the middle, that's something that you can do. Finally, I'm gonna put another line back on here. Maybe I'll make it black and thick. That's perfect. And then now the last button is just dashes. You can have it dots or dashes. Doesn't might come in handy for you, but maybe not. Once you have something selected, you can move it around. Another beautiful thing about digital art is you can copy and paste. So if I go Command or Windows C and then Command V, I can make as many of those circles identical as I want. And you can see it also has, you see those red lines popping up? It shows me when I've got them lined up, center to center here, or if I put it in the middle of the page, you can see the lines come up like right there. It's in the middle of the page. And now it's in the middle of the whole page perfectly right there. So using those guides can come in handy when you're making things symmetrical or whatever. One last thing I want to show you is ordering or layering things. Let's say I was going to make a really basic looking car. I'm going to choose one of these rectangles and I'm going to throw that on there. So there, I've got some wheels and I've got a body. And so that, what happens if I make this and I was like, oh, I made the wheels first, but I want the wheels like on top so I can see the wheels. You don't have to worry about that. All you need to do is change the order. So changing the order of any object can be done by selecting the object, right-clicking, and then going over to order, and so you can bring it forward just a step, or you can send it to the very front, or you can send it backwards a step, or you can send it to the very back. So if I go to send to back, it goes all the way to the back. You can see it's behind both. I'm going to go Command Z and just undo for a moment. And if you want to just send it back a space at a time, you can do that too. So if I go send backward instead of send to back, then you can see you can just push it back and back one step at a time. So now the rectangle is behind this circle, or sorry, yeah, behind the circle, but in front of this one. So you can reorder anything at any time. Those are the basics. So good luck making your creations.